Welcome, adventurers, to another exciting deep dive. If you're anything like us, the moment a major patch drops for an MMORPG like Black Desert Online, your heart starts to pound a little faster,
Ah,
right?
yeah, it's that thrill.
Exactly. It's knowing the world you call home is about to shift, to expand, offer new challenges, fresh opportunities.
Hmm.
Today, we're not just, reading patch notes, we're decoding the future of Black Desert Online. We're trying to uncover the hidden implications of this, well, colossal 2.71 gigabit update.
It really feels less like a patch and more like a pivotal chapter, doesn't it?
It does, a huge chapter. Our mission today, as always, is to cut through the extensive patch notes and pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this update.
Yeah, get right to the good stuff.
Right, this isn't some minor hotfix. This update, officially released July 2, 2025, or for our international adventurers, that's 020768 in the Thai calendar.
Important detail there.
It is, and it clocks in at a hefty 2.71 gigabit. That size alone tells you, well, significant changes and new content are packed in there, ready to redefine parts of your gameplay.
Definitely. A download that big means business.
So we're here to give you a clear, concise understanding of what's changed, what's new, and most importantly, what it means for your journey. So what are we unpacking today? We're going to explore the highly anticipated arrival of a brand new class, a whole suite of exciting new events designed to keep you busy.
Gotta have events.
Absolutely. Crucial class adjustments that could shake up the meta, some really valuable quality of life improvements that genuinely smooth out your daily grind,
Always welcome those.
and a truly, truly game-changing boost for new adventurers stepping into the world of Black Desert. It's a lot to cover, but we'll guide you through every critical detail, help you understand the ripples these changes will send across the game.
It's truly remarkable how a patch of this magnitude represents the ongoing, dynamic evolution of an MMORPG. This isn't just about simple maintenance or like minor tweaks.
No, not at all.
This is a deliberate statement from the development team. It's about their vision for Black Desert Online, signaling new strategic directions, introducing foundational mechanics, and, crucially, fostering deeper community engagement. It demonstrates a commitment to both expanding the content horizontally, new stuff to do, and refining the player experience vertically, addressing everything from like the nuanced interactions of top-tier competitive play right down to the very first steps a brand new adventurer takes.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, this comprehensive approach is what keeps a game like Black Desert feeling alive and continuously engaging.
Okay, let's kick things off with arguably the biggest headline of this patch. The grand arrival of Wukong.
Finally.
Right. This new class is introduced with such intriguing lore, described as the heir of Buddha of victory in battle, a master who rides clouds and wields a magic staff.
Sounds epic.
It does. It's an exciting expansion to Black Desert's already incredibly diverse roster of classes, bringing a fresh aesthetic and combat style to the game. When you hear that description, you immediately think of agility, right? Powerful sweeps, maybe some truly unique abilities involving speed and mystical power.
Yeah, definitely speed, maybe some tricky movement stuff. It really sparks the imagination for how he might play.
It really does.
Indeed, the addition of a new class in an established MMORPG like Black Desert Online is always a monumental event. It's far more than just a new character model.
Much more.
It's a potential seismic shift in the game's entire meta, both in PvP and PvE content. A well-designed new class can inject a tremendous amount of fresh energy. It can draw in new players looking for that perfect character fit.
Or bring back old players.
Exactly, enticing seasoned veterans to return to the game to experience something novel. This arrival raises a crucial question. How will Wukong truly integrate into the existing ecosystem?
Yeah, where does he fit?
Will he become a dominant force in large-scale guild wars? A top-tier grinder in those contested high-end grind spots? Or maybe carve out a unique niche with a specialized playstyle?
Only time will tell, really.
Exactly. Only time and a significant amount of collective player testing and theory crafting will reveal his true position in the hierarchy. It's also worth noting, and this is important, the patch notes explicitly mention that acceleration and a boost for legacy skills for Wukong are planned for later implementation.
Ah, so not the full kit right away.
Right. This isn't a complete kit right out of the gate. This often implies a carefully phased release. Lets players first master the initial abilities, the class's core combat identity, before adding layers of complexity and power.
Makes sense.
So what might these skill types imply for Wukong's long-term power and versatility? Acceleration could suggest, significant mobility bursts, rapid attack speed buffs, maybe even a mechanic tied to reducing cooldowns,
Ooh, that could make him incredibly agile, relentless.
potentially. And Abyssal Legacy, on the other hand, that sounds like a powerful, possibly ultimate set of skills that could define his peak performance, perhaps tied to a darker, more impactful combat form or a temporary power-up.
Interesting.
This phase release generates anticipation, doesn't it? It promises even greater depth and devastating capabilities down the line, ensuring players remain invested in Wukong's evolution for months to come.
That phased release is certainly a common strategy. Lets players really grasp the basics before unleashing the full power. But do you think there's a risk it might frustrate some seasoned veterans? The ones who want to theorycraft Wukong's full endgame potential right away?
Oh,
Or does it just build exciting anticipation? And speaking of unleashing power, let's talk about unlocking Wukong's full potential.
right, the practical steps.
To access all his remaining awakening weapon skills, players must first reach level 56 or higher. Standard stuff there. Once that threshold is met, you'll need to accept the quest, Wukong Unlocking Skills Lost Memory from the Black Spirit. This isn't just like a recommendation, it's essential. Essential for accessing all those powerful awakening skills that truly define a character in Black Desert and unlock their true combat identity.
Absolutely. Think of it as Wukong's profound journey of self-discovery within the game's narrative.
Yes.
Definitely a bit of a double-edged sword for veterans.
Yeah. They often want to min-max instantly. However, this is a typical, and I would argue, an important progression path for new classes in BDO.
Standard procedure, really.
Right. When a new class is initially released, it usually starts with its main weapon skill set. The true power, the signature abilities, and often the core combat loop, however, are unlocked with the awakening weapon. That typically becomes available around level 56 through a dedicated quest line.
This clear quest path serves multiple purposes. It acts as a structured tutorial for the new class, ensuring players engage with a bit of the game's unique lore, and most importantly, it guides them on how to fully realize their character's power.
You have to do it.
Pretty much.
Right.
Without completing this quest, you're essentially playing with a handicapped version of the class, missing out on crucial crowd control, damage, mobility tools. It's a fundamental requirement for anyone serious about maining Wukong, pushing them through a necessary progression stage.
Now let's get into some of the nitty-gritty details, the stuff that really matters for gearing and combat performance. Wukong's attack power, or AP, scaling nuances.
Oh, the fun stuff.
The patch notes specify a hybrid scaling mechanism, which is, well, quite interesting and somewhat unique in Black Desert. For his main weapon skills, Wukong utilizes 100% of the main weapon's AP standard.
Okay.
But here's where it truly gets tactical. For his Awakening the Unlocked skills, he utilizes 70% of the Awakening weapon's AP and 30% of the main weapon's AP.
Okay, hold on. 70-30.
Yeah, 70-30. This isn't just a numerical quirk, right? What does this split fundamentally mean for Wukong players when they're deciding how to invest their hard-earned silver and enhancement materials?
That's a fantastic question, and it's where Wukong's gearing strategy truly diverges from many other classes. The 70-30 split isn't just a numerical quirk. It fundamentally reevaluates the efficiency of specific gear slots and your enhancement priorities.
Oh, so.
Well, consider classes like, say, Mystic or Striker. Their awakening often scales purely off awakening AP, meaning once you awaken, your main hand weapon's AP becomes largely irrelevant for your primary damage output. It serves mostly for specific utility skills or pre-awakening combos.
Right. You focus everything on the Awakening weapon.
Exactly. But for Wukong, that 30% main weapon AP is a significant contribution to your core awakening damage. You can't just ignore it. The true insight here, I think, is that for maximum efficiency, Wukong could force a more balanced and potentially higher-cost gearing strategy than most.
More expensive, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. You can't just dump all your efforts into your awakening weapon and neglect your main hand. A PEND, Blackstar main hand, could be almost as impactful, maybe even more so in some scenarios, than pushing another enhancement level on your awakening weapon.
Wow, okay. That changes things.
It creates a complex opportunity cost dilemma for players. It's not just about getting more AP, it's about the most efficient way to get that AP for Wukong, which might involve a less conventional enhancement priority than most veterans are used to.
So a different approach is needed.
Yeah, this could potentially make him a top-tier endgame character, but also maybe a slower, more expensive one to optimize. It fundamentally shifts the early to mid-game investment curve for his players. It's a fascinating design choice, really. Promotes thoughtful progression.
Definitely something to think about. Beyond the combat mechanics, the patch also includes some really thoughtful quality of life improvements, specifically for Wukong players, but also for the wider Black Desert community.
Good. QL's always nice.
First off, and this is a big one for longtime players, the maximum character slots have been increased from 38 to 41.
Yes, finally.
Right. For those of us who have accumulated a sprawling roster of alts, what does this seemingly small increase in character slots truly signify? It's huge.
It's not small at all. This means you can try out Wukong without having to make that painful decision,
Yeah.
deleting one of your beloved existing characters, which is a huge relief for anyone with a sprawling roster of alts they've invested time into.
Yeah, absolutely. Saves a lot of heartache.
Removing that friction is crucial for encouraging players to experiment with new content. Furthermore, Perlibis has added a dedicated research center, Wukong chat group.
Oh, interesting. Like an official theory crafting channel.
Pretty much. This isn't just a simple chat channel. It's a direct invitation from the developers for the community to engage in immediate theory crafting. What's truly impactful here is how these seemingly small changes collectively foster a vibrant community and accelerate player engagement.
How does that work?
Well, a dedicated chat group allows for real-time skill discussions, collaborative learning, the rapid sharing of optimal rotations or gear choices for the new class. This is vital in a complex MMORPG like Black Desert, where the collective wisdom of the player base is often the quickest path to mastering a new character.
So it speeds up figuring him out.
Exactly. It effectively accelerates Wukong's integration into the game's meta and strengthens player bonds by providing a centralized hub for discussion.
And finally, to really encourage players to jump into this new content, maybe even try a season server, every adventurer receives one season character creation voucher.
Ah, the vouchers.
A fantastic gift. Immediately gives you an avenue to explore Wukong in an accelerated environment. For those less familiar with Black Desert's seasonal system, how does this voucher directly empower players, especially those looking to quickly get Wukong up to speed?
This voucher directly connects to the season server system, which is honestly an ingenious design in Black Desert.
Yeah, seasons are great.
Season servers are specifically designed for rapid character growth. They offer unique quest lines, significantly boosted experience rates, and a streamlined progression path with specific gear sets, like the Tuvala gear we'll discuss later. That stuff is much easier to enhance and upgrade.
Perfect for leveling quickly.
Absolutely ideal for new players getting a grip on the game's core mechanics, or for existing players looking to quickly level an alt like Wukong without having to re-engage with the traditional, more arduous gearing process of the main servers.
Right. Skip some of that grind.
The voucher directly enables participation in this accelerated progression. Makes it incredibly easy to get Wukong up and running, especially for those who want to jump straight into endgame content or competitive PvP quickly. It lowers the barrier to entry for trying out new characters and keeps the game feeling fresh.
Just a quick note on the voucher mechanics for planning your seasonal character strategy. Players can hold a maximum of 5 such vouchers.
Good point. Max of 5.
So if you already have 5 season character creation vouchers in your inventory, you won't receive an additional one this season. Just something to keep in mind if you're meticulously planning your seasonal character lineup or have been hoarding them from previous events.
Yeah, check your inventory before you get too excited.
So with the grand arrival of Wukong, Perlibis isn't just like releasing a new character in a vacuum. They're setting the stage for his integration and for the entire community with a vibrant calendar of events.
Yeah, they're rolling out the red carpet.
Totally. It's almost as if they're saying, here's your new favorite class, now here's every reason to play him and participate. This update brings a whopping 6 distinct activities, each designed to engage different facets of the community: solo progression, guild cooperation, even competitive PvP.
Good mix.
Beyond just providing content, why are these robust event lineups so crucial for an MMORPG like Black Desert?
It's crucial to emphasize that events are truly the lifeblood of an MMORPG, honestly.
Keep things fresh.
Exactly. They provide a constant stream of fresh content, keep players engaged with diverse objectives beyond just grinding or questing, and maybe most importantly, offer valuable rewards. Stuff that can significantly boost a player's progression, wealth, or cosmetic collection. Without these ongoing events, even a vast game like Black Desert could start to feel stagnant.
Definitely.
They introduce novelty, encourage players to try different facets of the game they might otherwise ignore, and keep the in-game economy dynamic. This robust lineup is a very positive sign for the health of the game and its community. Shows a commitment to keeping the player experience vibrant.
Okay, Kicking off the event lineup is Activity 1. First step, full of excitement, grow stronger with settlement funds. Now, this sounds like an ongoing initiative, and it directly connects to the groundbreaking New Adventurer settlement funds that we'll be diving into in much more detail later.
Teasing the big one early.
Right. Without giving too much away, what kind of fundamental shift does an event tied to settlement funds hint at for the early game experience?
This title hints at a truly significant, potentially game-changing boost for the early game experience for new players. Historically, the initial grind for silver and the central resources in Black Desert could be quite challenging, right? A real barrier to entry for some.
Yeah, it could be tough.
An event tied to settlement funds implies a direct injection of wealth or resources designed to smooth out that initial progression curve. It suggests Pearl Abyss is making a concerted effort to onboard new players more effectively, allowing them to quickly acquire necessary gear, make early investments, and feel less overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the game's economic systems.
Sounds like a huge quality of life improvement.
It really does. Focus squarely on retention for new adventurers.
Next up, we have Activity 2. New class level up challenge mission, Wukong, who rides clouds and wields a magic staff. This event runs from July 2nd, 2025 to August 7th, 2025. So you get a solid month and a bit to participate.
Standard level-up event for a new class.
Pretty much. How do these types of class-specific level-up events typically benefit both the players and the game developers in an MMORPG context?
These level-up events are absolutely crucial for encouraging the adoption of new classes, especially one as highly anticipated as Wukong. For players, they provide a clear, rewarding progression path, helps them quickly get their new character to a relevant level, but also often provides valuable resources, enhancement materials, silver, unique cosmetic items that ease the gearing process.
That makes playing the new class more rewarding early on.
Exactly. And for developers, it ensures that a significant portion of the player base engages with the new content. This generates valuable data on class performance, helps identify potential bugs, and fosters community discussion around the new character.
So it's a win-win.
Pretty much. Players get boosted rewards, and the game sees increased engagement with new content, validating the development effort.
Then there's Activity 3. Journey to the Black Pavilion, Source of Mysterious Whispers. This one has a slightly shorter duration, running from July 2nd to July 17th, 2025.
Shorter-winded.
Yeah, suggests maybe a more focused, possibly lore-driven or limited-time challenge, something that might require a quicker engagement from players. When you hear Mysterious Whispers and a Black Pavilion, what does that immediately suggest to you in terms of potential content? Could it be a new boss, a unique exploration challenge?
Mysterious Whispers is classic MMORPG event phrasing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Often implies a mini-quest line with a narrative focus, maybe a unique exploration challenge revealing hidden areas or secrets.
Or a temporary boss.
Or even a new temporary boss encounter that ties into the game's deeper lore. The Black Pavilion itself could be a temporary instance dungeon, a new zone to explore, or just a specific point of interest on the map.
Keeps things interesting.
Yeah, these types of events are excellent for keeping the world feeling dynamic, providing a sense of unfolding narrative, even between major content expansions. They're a way for the developers to keep players on their toes, hint at future content, and provide a quick burst of engaging activity that doesn't require, like, a long-term commitment.
Piques player curiosity.
Exactly. Encourages short, focused bursts of activity.
Okay, for those who enjoy playing with friends and guildmates, Activity 4. Time to get stronger together, adventure with guild members is for you.
Guild's event.
Yep, emphasizes the collaborative nature of Black Desert. Runs from July 2nd, 2025 at 23.0 to July 23rd, 2025 at 22.59 Thai time. So about 3 weeks. It's all about guild cooperation. What's the strategic importance of incentivizing guild activities in a game as massive as Black Desert?
Oh, the importance of guild activities in an MMORPG cannot be overstated. Guilds are the very backbone of the social experience. They foster camaraderie, mutual support, a sense of belonging that solo play just can't replicate.
Builds community.
Totally. Events like this reinforce that crucial social aspect. They provide group-based objectives that can strengthen bonds and offer unique rewards that might be difficult to acquire solo, whether it's tackling guild bosses, completing guild missions for shared resources, engaging in large-scale PvP, or simply grinding together for efficiency.
All better with a group.
Right. These activities create a stronger sense of community and collective achievement. This is vital for long-term player retention and helps new players integrate into the game's social fabric, providing a ready-made support network.
Very important stuff. Now, for the PvP enthusiasts out there, Activity 5, Challenge and Conquer Red Battlefield, Valencia Capital, offers a very tight, high-intensity window.
Ooh, RBF event. Short one, too.
Very short. Active from July 2nd to July 10th, 2025. Just over a week. What's unique about focusing a PvP event on a specific red battlefield map? And how might that short duration impact the competitive landscape?
What's truly interesting here is the specific focus on Valencia Capital within the red battlefield.
Hmm.
RBF is Black Desert's instanced PvP arena, right? Designed for quick, objective-based skirmishes.
Yeah, quick matches.
By highlighting a particular map, the event might encourage specific meta shifts or tactical considerations unique to that battlefield's layout, like specific choke points, high ground advantages, objective priorities.
Adapting to the map.
Exactly. And the tight window, just over a week, makes it a high-stakes, high-reward opportunity for competitive players. This short, intense burst of activity ensures concentrated engagement, could lead to rapid shifts in the top ranks and a palpable sense of urgency.
Makes it exciting.
Yeah, it allows PvP enthusiasts to test their combat skills against others in a focused competitive environment without a prolonged commitment.
And finally, rounding out the event list, we have Activity 6, Razer Gold Wallet Promotions celebrating Wukong's launch.
Ah, the external promo.
Yep. This is for those who use Razer Gold, available from July 2nd, 10:00 to July 11th, 22.59 Thai time. While it's external, it's still part of the overall launch celebration for Wukong.
Good to know for Razer users.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and unpack this for our Striker and Mystic players, because this patch brings several nuanced but impactful changes, could significantly alter their combat flow and overall effectiveness.
Yeah, balance changes. Always interesting.
This isn't just about raw damage numbers. It's about how these classes feel to play, how effectively they can sustain themselves in prolonged combat, and their fluidity during engagements.
Indeed, these adjustments reflect the ongoing balancing act in Black Desert. Even seemingly small numerical tweaks can have a cascading effect on a class's viability across different content.
So what's changed specifically?
For both Strikers and Mystics, Strong, Tumbling, Succession, Individual Enlightenment, Strong, Bloody Fang, Flow, Eliminate Pulse, Succession, Piercing the Enemy, and Succession, King. Quite a list there.
Yeah, several skills.
We see a notable increase in Spirit Fighter and FP Fighting Spirit or mana recovery. This is a crucial improvement.
Why is that so important?
Well, more Spirit Fighter or FP means players can execute longer combo chains without running out of resources, which previously could severely limit their sustained damage output or defensive capabilities. Right?
Running out of gas mid-fight.
Exactly. This could lead to more aggressive playstyles, higher damage per minute in grinding, and potentially allow for longer, more impactful engagements in PvP scenarios without needing to disengage to recover. It's a significant boost to their overall combat efficiency and reduces a common point of frustration for players of these classes.
Sounds like a solid buff.
Definitely. Furthermore, for Mystic's Awakening skills, there are notable flow improvements. Skills like Flow, Backlash, Heatwave, and Annihilate can now be used more fluidly after switching to the main weapon.
Smoother transitions.
Yeah. Specifically, the changes allowing Flow, Backlash instead of Annihilate for Water Dragon, and Flow, Heatwave instead of Annihilate for Whirlpool when pressing C or key. These kinds of micro adjustments can dramatically improve the feel of a class. When skills flow seamlessly, it makes combat more intuitive, responsive, and ultimately more enjoyable and effective. Imagine trying to execute a complex combo and a minor hitch or delay prevents you from landing critical damage or escaping a dangerous situation.
Super frustrating.
Right. These changes eliminate those clunky moments, allowing Mystic players to maintain pressure, transition between offensive and defensive stances more fluidly, and feel more in control of their character's actions. It's about responsiveness and reducing input frustration, which is vital for high-skill combat.
Makes the class feel better to play.
Exactly. And of course, no patch is complete without vital bug fixes.
Gotta squash those bugs.
For both Striker and Mystic, issues where Spirit Fighter was recovering only 3 at a time in specific situations and where FP wasn't recovering under specific conditions have been addressed. Even small bugs related to resource management can severely disrupt combat flow, lead to unexpected and frustrating deaths, especially in high-pressure situations like PvP duels or challenging endgame PvE encounters.
So stability fixes are crucial.
Absolutely. These fixes are crucial for ensuring the stability, reliability, and intended performance of these classes. Let's players focus on skill and strategy rather than wrestling with unintended mechanics.
Good stuff. Moving on from class tweaks, Let's talk about the culmination of intense competitive play. The Solaris Spear Season 2 2025 rewards.
The loot.
The intense main season has concluded, and adventurers are now receiving their hard-earned rewards based on their rank. For those who participated and fought their way up the ladder, this is where it truly gets exciting. The rewards are a direct reflection of skill and dedication.
Definitely. The reward structure for Solaris Spear is quite detailed, offers significant incentives across various tiers, acknowledging different levels of achievement.
What kind of tiers are we talking?
From Solaris Ascended Spear for players with 2,401 plus points, that's the absolute pinnacle, all the way down to Trainee Soldier for those in the 401 800-point range. Each tier grants a corresponding prestigious title that serves as a badge of honor.
Nice titles. What about the actual items?
The valuable rewards themselves are a direct infusion of utility and wealth into a player's arsenal. For instance, the top tiers receive substantial amounts of gold bars, specifically up to 10,000 G bars. That translates to a massive influx of silver into the economy, directly boosting a player's in-game wealth.
Wow, 70 kg bars. That's huge.
It is. Beyond that, thousands of Kron stones are awarded. These are absolutely essential for safe gear enhancement attempts, right? They reduce the risk of painful downgrades when a high-level enhancement fails. Makes progress significantly less punitive and more reliable.
Cons are always welcome.
Always. Proof of Solaire tokens are also granted, which hold value for future use or prestige. But what really stands out, especially for top-tier competitors, is the Immortal Perfume Selection Box.
Ah, the perfumes. Very nice.
Granting 10 boxes for the highest ranks. These are incredibly coveted high-end consumables that allow players to choose powerful, long-duration combat buffs.
Which ones can you choose?
Options like Deep Sea Perfume are often used for efficient PvE, grinding big EXP boost and combat buffs. Perfume of Infatuation can be really useful for life skills or specific combat scenarios. Perfume of Courage is highly sought after for damage, raw AP, and accuracy.
Courage is always good.
Calk's Elixir offers specific defensive or utility benefits, and Sharpened Perfume provides critical accuracy and critical hit damage boosts. These perfumes are crucial for pushing the limits in challenging content, from high-end grind zones to competitive PvP. Makes them incredibly valuable for optimizing performance.
So really top-tier consumables.
Absolutely. Even the traces of Lightning Flame are useful resources for crafting or upgrading specific items. Ensures every reward feels meaningful and contributes to a player's power progression.
And then for the truly elite, the top 100 players received incredibly prestigious rewards, stuff that signifies true mastery and dedication, pushing beyond simple in-game items to offer something really unique.
Yeah, unpacking these top 100 specifics really highlights the pinnacle of Black Desert's competitive nature and the deep desire for unique in-game recognition. Those top 100 players receive the exclusive Sun Knight outfit and a special Sun Knight title.
An exclusive outfit.
Nice. Which remains usable until the next Solaris Spear season concludes a constant, visible badge of honor. They also get a Solaris Box of Honor, a veritable trove of high-value consumables.
What's in the box?
An impressive 1,000 Kron stones. Degenerate Immortal Oil, that's a rare item for crafting top-tier accessories. Various high-tier perfumes like Courage, Calk, Deep Sea Infatuation, and Sharpened 30 of each. And item drop rate scrolls, which are invaluable for maximizing gains from grinding rare items.
Wow, that's a stacked box.
These items collectively provide a substantial boost to a player's immediate combat power and long-term progression. But what's truly fascinating, and quite unprecedented,
Go on.
is the unique reward for the rank 1 player of each class, the Research Center of Honor.
Research Center of Honor. What is that?
The development team at Pearl Abyss will actually collect data on their desired outfit and then work to implement it into the game.
No way. They get to design an outfit.
Essentially, yeah. This is an extraordinary form of recognition. It directly involves top players in the game's ongoing artistic and content development, allows them to leave their indelible mark on the game in a truly unique and lasting way.
That is seriously cool.
It's a direct nod to their dedication and unparalleled skill, acknowledging them as true pioneers and masters of their class. This kind of collaborative creation between developers and top-tier players is a rare and exciting development for the community.
Incredible. Okay, now this next one is a huge quality of life change, especially for new players and those on seasoned servers. Item enhancements for Tuvala accessories have seen a massive improvement.
Well, this is a big one.
Previously, enchanting Tuvala accessories could be quite frustrating, right? Repeated failures often felt like a significant roadblock for new adventurers. Why is guaranteeing success for these items up to TRI so game-changing for the new player experience in particular?
This is a critical change. If we connect this to the bigger picture of new player onboarding and retention, it significantly streamlines the gear progression for new adventurers. The patch explicitly states, Tuvala accessories now have a 100% success rate for enhancement up to TRI, 3 level.
100% up to TRI.
100%. Before this, even at lower enhancement levels, failing Tuvala accessories was common. Led to lost resources, considerable frustration, and honestly, probably new players simply giving up on the game.
Yeah, the RNG could be brutal.
By guaranteeing success up to TRI, Pearl Abyss has essentially removed a significant barrier to entry and a common point of burnout for new players.
Makes a huge difference.
This change allows new players to reach comfortable power level much faster, lets them engage with mid-game grind spots and content without the soul-crushing experience of repeated enhancement failures. It makes the season server experience far smoother, more rewarding, and less RNG dependent.
So they can focus on playing, not just enhancing.
Exactly. It frees up new adventurers to focus on learning core game mechanics, exploring the vast world, enjoying the combat, rather than constantly worrying about the fickle nature of the enhancement system for their basic progression gear. It also sets them up much better for graduating from season servers into the main game. Bridges that power gap much more gracefully.
Man, I remember spending hours smashing Tuvala accessories some seasons.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
More time clicking enhance than actually playing sometimes.
Right. To think new players now avoid that specific pain point, it's a massive win for the game's accessibility.
Huge win.
All right, buckle up, new and returning players, because this might just be the biggest news of the entire patch. The introduction of a game-changing new Adventurer Settlement Fund system.
Here it is, the big one.
This isn't just a small handout, it's a massive new system providing significant financial support designed to truly kickstart your journey. When we talk about a total of 10,000 million silver available, what does 10 billion silver truly mean for a new player's experience in Black Desert Online? How transformative is this?
What's truly remarkable here is the sheer scale of the generosity. The patch states a total of 10,000 million. It's an astonishing 10 billion silver available. For someone just starting Black Desert Online, 10 billion silver is, well, it's unprecedented.
It sounds like a crazy amount.
It is. To put it in perspective, acquiring that much silver through traditional early game grinding or questing would take dozens, if not hundreds, of hours. This amount allows new players unparalleled freedom to bypass many of the initial financial hurdles.
What can they do with it?
They can immediately buy essential items like better early game accessories that significantly boost their combat power, acquire valuable life skill tools, or even invest in profitable ventures like farming or cooking without the initial arduous grind for startup capital. It fundamentally changes the early game economy for new adventurers, speeds up their progress in a way we haven't seen before, allows them to reach mid-game content and experiences much, much faster.
Wow, I still remember my first few million silver feeling like a fortune back in the day.
Right, me too. To think new players are dropping into Black Desert now with the potential for 10 billion silver, it's almost ludicrously generous. Mind-blowing, really.
Now, to prevent abuse and ensure players are actively progressing, the funds are distributed in parts upon meeting specific conditions, not all at once.
Sensible. Gotta earn it, sort of.
Right. This cautious release mechanism ensures that players are engaging with core content as they earn their funds, guiding them through vital aspects of the game. Can you elaborate on these conditions and how they strategically guide new adventurers?
Precisely. The conditions for earning these funds are incredibly well designed. Each naturally guides new adventurers through core gameplay experiences, ensuring they learn the ropes as they go. You earn portions of the fund by.
Okay, what are they?
First, reaching level 61. That's a significant milestone. Takes time, exposes players to various grind spots, combat mechanics.
Makes sense. Get familiar with the grind.
Second, completing one of 3 major main quest lines. Media. Prophecy of Collapse, Eternal Winter after All's Gate, or Land of the Morning Light, Gumiho Royal Decree. These questlines are central to understanding Black Desert's rich lore and exploring its diverse regions.
So, experiencing the story.
Third, completing the challenging Abyss 1 Magnus's main questline. This is a particularly important one, as Magnus unlocks universal storage and fast travel across the world. Massive quality of life features for any player.
Oh yeah, Magnus is huge. Everyone should do that anyway.
Totally. Fourth, accumulating 50 hours of total playtime. a simple yet effective measure to ensure consistent engagement.
Just playing the game.
And fifth, graduating a seasoned character via the Growth Support Pukar's Help quest. This encourages participation in the accelerated season server progression, effectively introducing them to an optimized leveling path.
Ties into the season system again.
Exactly. This structured approach provides not only substantial financial support, but also a clear roadmap for new player engagement. Introduces them to critical content and systems step by step. It's a masterclass in onboarding new players into a complex game, giving them the tools and the direction to truly thrive.
It really sounds like it. And just to clarify, who qualifies as a new adventurer for these amazing benefits?
Yeah, the fine print.
It's defined as someone who has played less than 60 days, that's 1,440 hours after creating their second password. You'll know if you qualify because a special icon will appear at the bottom of your screen.
Good to know, so check for the icon.
Crucial for new and returning players to check if they're eligible for this transformative financial boost. Beyond the financial boost, this update also brings some much-needed decluttering to the quest log.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right. If you've played Black Desert for a while, you know how overwhelming the quest window can become, filled with myriad quests from various regions, some no longer relevant.
It gets messy.
Yeah.
Fast.
Many old or unproceedable quests that previously appeared in your quest window will now no longer show up. What's the real impact of a cleaner quest interface on a player's daily experience?
This is a huge quality of life improvement. Directly addresses a common pain point for both new and experienced players alike. A cluttered quest interface can be incredibly daunting and confusing, especially for new players trying to navigate the game's vast content.
Like trying to find something on a messy desk.
Exactly. It slows you down, increases frustration. By removing irrelevant or unproceedable quests, Pearl Abyss is significantly improving the overall user experience, reducing confusion, making it much easier for players to track their active and truly relevant quests. It streamlines their immediate objectives.
Makes focusing easier.
Definitely. And small fixes like correcting some introductory quest descriptions also contribute to a smoother learning curve for new players. Ensures they're not misled or confused by outdated or inaccurate information. These seemingly minor UI adjustments really show the developers are paying attention to the details that profoundly impact daily play and player retention.
Little things add up. While smaller in scope, these next few changes show Pearl Abyss's ongoing commitment to polish and accessibility across the board. They might not be headline grabbers, but they certainly improve the overall experience in subtle but important ways.
Absolutely. Even minor UI and web improvements contribute to a more seamless and professional experience. Reinforces the perception of a well-maintained game. This includes a tweaked Black Desert Launcher icon.
Minor aesthetic update.
Minor, but contributes to brand consistency. More importantly, they've updated the system requirements information on the download page.
That's crucial.
Crucial for new players or those checking compatibility before diving in. Prevents potential frustration down the line if their system can't handle the game. They've also improved the UI window for maintenance notifications within the in-game Pearl shop.
Better communication.
Yeah, clearer communication during server maintenance for the web shop. So you're not left wondering why you can't make a purchase or access certain features. These are all small steps that collectively contribute to a more polished and reliable user journey.
Finally, this patch includes a host of smaller, but nonetheless important, bug fixes. Contribute to overall game stability and quality of life. These are the unsung heroes of any patch, right? Quietly ironing out wrinkles that can disrupt immersion or efficiency.
Indeed. These general bug fixes illustrate the breadth of the team's continuous efforts to polish the game and ensure a smooth experience. For example, they've fixed a critical issue in Solaire's Spear PvP replay where players could be attacked after replay.
Oof, that's a bad one.
Yeah, significant competitive disadvantage. They also resolved unnatural NPC appearances in cutscenes during Ader Action quests and corrected incorrect text helps maintain immersion in narrative content.
Little immersion breakers.
A truly crucial fix for high-value transactions in the marketplace is the resolution of issues with buying items over 2.1 billion silver. Previously, this could cause significant problems, even block purchases when dealing with top-tier gear, which is often priced in the tens of billions.
That's a massive fix for the high-end economy.
Huge fix. They also corrected item requirements for the Guild Boarhead ornament, a crafting fix, ensuring guild crafters aren't wasting resources. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these types of fixes, including various UI and navigation bugs like targets appearing in the knowledge window, expired quests and NPC dialogue, Heidel Fountain navigation issues, world map hotkey problems. They collectively create a more seamless and less frustrating experience.
Lets you just play the game.
Exactly. They allow players to focus on the game's core content, exploration, and combat without being interrupted by glitches, essential for a truly immersive and enjoyable experience.
And just like that, we've journeyed through the massive July 2025 Black Desert Online patch. Whew.
That was a lot.
It was. We've seen the grand arrival of the enigmatic Wukong with his unique hybrid AP scaling and strategic unlocking quest, delved into the wealth of new events designed to engage every type of adventurer, analyzed the subtle but impactful class adjustments for Striker and Mystic, improving their combat flow.
Big quality of life changes, too.
Absolutely. Celebrated the game-changing Tuvala accessory enhancements that dramatically streamline progression for new players, and explored the incredibly generous new adventurer settlement funds that promise to revolutionize the early game experience for anyone stepping into this world.
Really packed patch.
This was a big one, yeah. Packed with content that touches nearly every corner of the Black Desert world. These patches are not just, technical updates. They are continuations of your evolving adventure, constantly reshaping the world you explore.
Keeps it feeling alive.
It does. We highly encourage you to jump back into Black Desert Online and experience these updates firsthand. See how they feel for yourself. So what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these continuous patches fundamentally transform Black Desert Online. It's not just about fixes, it's about a living, breathing world that adapts and grows with its community and its players.
Constant evolution.
What new strategies will emerge from Wukong's unique hybrid AP scaling, forcing new considerations for endgame gearing? How will the increased support for new adventurers reshape the game's population, its in-game economy, maybe even its social dynamics as more players reach higher tiers faster?
Lots of potential ripple effects.
These updates empower you, the player, to explore new possibilities and define your own journey in this ever-expanding, ever-changing world.
It's your adventure to make.
Exactly. So go ahead. Dive into the game, Master Wukong, participate in those exciting new events to maximize your gains, or even revisit the season servers with those incredible new Tuvala changes. The adventure truly never ends, and it's constantly evolving, waiting for you to discover its next chapter.